Hey everybody, it is Deanna with toolsofenergyprotection.com and For Heaven's Sake Books. I am so glad that you joined me today. I don't know about you, but I had a little trouble getting on for the live today, and I hope you'll join me a little bit late. What's happening in our planet and our universe? The energies are crazy and they're really off. So I started my day this morning by going to the gym, and right when I was getting ready to pull into a parking space, somebody else pulled in right in front of me, literally. And I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be an interesting day. So I come to get on the live, and I'm getting things hooked up and, getting ready to come on and talk to all of you this afternoon. And other things were like, yeah, no, you're not doing that right now. Something pulled right in front of me. So if you're having one of those kind of days, welcome aboard. I love you, each and every one of you, so much. We're going through a fantastic, dynamic time, and it is great to be alive at November the 11th, 2024. And yes, I do realize the significance of today. So to begin, I'm going to send out some positive love and energy, uplifting energy to all of the folks that were affected by 9/11, who still need a little love and grace. You may be feeling that as well. It's all right. It's a circle of energy. Sending out the love. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what's going on today. It looks like we got a couple of people on board. I know getting on the afternoon's a little weird. All right. So what we're going to cover today is, for those of you that may be joining live, okay, what we're going to cover today is we're going to look at, get myself oriented today. All of you can get a good laugh. What we're going to look at today is the energies shifting so fast and furious. And towards the end, I am going to do some free readings. So if you would like to get a free reading, you can post a question down below and I will answer you. And then I want to look at what's happening right now on the planet. As you know, for those of you that are watching me from the U.S., we had the presidential debate last night, and there were a lot of different moving parts and pieces at that moment. And so many of you were having and challenged by that. And so I want to let you know that we are, still rocking forward in this planet. We're going to keep going forward. We're going to keep doing things, all right? So just know that between now and about 4 or 5 days from now, we're going to have another major energy shift. And for those of you that are watching me and they're like, okay, well, what the heck is an energy shift, okay? An energy shift means that you're going to feel in your body, in your mind, like I did today when I'm driving, going to the gym, and I think everybody's great, and I'm getting up early, and I'm taking care of myself and do self-care, and I pull in the parking lot, and I'm headed for a parking space, and somebody who did not see me, by the way, pulls in right in front of me, takes up the space, okay? And that's how it's going to become feeling more and more going forward in the next few days, like you are attempting to fill out your own space, your own energy, your own divine self, and someone else is going to pull right in there. Oh, hi Genesis, good to see you. And somebody else is going to pull right in there, and it's going to cause you to freak out, okay? And it's going to be a little disconcerting. So that's what the energy is coming up. And I've been telling you all this for a while. Some of you have private messaged me and say, hey, what's going to happen? What's it going to look like? Well, you've got a lot of political moving parts and pieces. If you're in the States, we have a lot of fires on one end of our country, and on the other end of our country, there's a hurricane coming. So you're seeing a lot of weather events, they call them, happening. And you may be feeling that pressure as well. The stock market is going up and down, and people's spending is going up and down, and people are sucking up the energy, going, oh great, who's going to be the next ruler of our particular space? That's all normal. What I'm asking you to do is to center. We've been talking a while about centering and balancing. And that's what I'm going to ask you all to do as empaths, as starseeds, as highly sensitive people. It's time for you to take your energy that you've been expending out here and to pull that into yourself so you can see the truth, the love, and the light. And so I'm going to cover a few ways for you to do that. And if you're seeing this recording later and you're like, gosh, I missed it and I have a question, go ahead and post it below. It doesn't matter to me what platform you're on, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and I'll check it. So some of you are asking, I can hear this through the timeline, some of you are asking, well, what does it mean? You kept telling us there's a shift again. So I'll repeat myself one more time. The energy shift that's coming up in about 4 to 5 days is up here in the stars, in the astrology or astronomy if you prefer. And the vibration is shifting there, which affects every person on this planet that draws a breath. Doesn't matter if they're the richest person on the planet or if they're not the richest person on the planet. They're going to feel it. And with our political scene the way that it is right at the moment, this is a huge transformation. Okay, this is big. And if you let yourself get involved in the emotions of it, I know you can be passionate about it. I'm passionate about things. If you allow yourself to get caught up in the emotions of it, then you're going to be out of balance. And there's also a spiritual warfare that's going on. It's been going on for a while and it's magnifying. I can feel it. And so this is the time that you really, the desired outcome is to center. You know, if you have to turn the TV off and not watch it, maybe just catch the replay where you can fast forward it, then that's what you have to do. This is the time to remember that you are a divine aspect of the creator source of all. And you happen to be in a planet that's going through huge shifts right now. Not only do we have the astrology that's lining up, and astronomy if you prefer, but our planet is literally shifting into 2 different frequencies, the higher level and the lower level. And you're like, okay, great, what does that mean? That means for highly sensitive empaths and starseeds, if you have your emotions out here, and whatever's happening, you're being swayed back and forth by this emotional energy and you're exhausted and you're feeling overwhelmed, then you're in a position to be teetered and tottered back and forth and not be centered. And if you're not centered, then if you're a reader, as some of my clients, read cards, then you're not going to be able to read the cards and get the right answers. For some of my empaths that, have healing arts professions and they're like, oh my gosh, there's so much energy in the world and I'm a healer, and how do I do that and maintain? You pull the energy back into yourself and you maintain it so that you see things objectivity or objectively and not an emotional game. Do you understand? That's the secret. I just gave you $100,000 secret. Okay? Seriously. So if you're having challenges and you're like, okay, where do I take it from here? And then I will look in the comments and see if there's any questions, because I'm going to be taking live questions today. There was a troll a couple weeks ago, so if you're going to troll and ask people that are asking me questions, anything, I'm going to boot you out. And then I had a technical glitch last week, so you all may not have seen the recording or the live, and there was a technical glitch, so I'm sorry about that. But what can you do? What can you do in your time and space to make things better? Especially for those of you that are feeling anxious and nervous and depressed and all the things I'm in here, and please don't turn me off because this is important. So what I did was I put together a class so that you can learn. It's just 2 hours. I made it as short as possible so you all could maximize, because a lot of people are telling me, I don't have time, everything's crazy, okay? So I condensed it down to 2 hours. And what I'm going to be teaching is how the secrets that I know about having spiritual and emotional freedom. Now, who could not use spiritual and emotional freedom during this time? So for those of you on the Facebook page, for heaven's sake, I put down in the chat the link to get registered for this class or event if you want. It's only 2 hours. And what I'm going to do is take you through the step-by-step process on how to bring your energies back from being emotionally swayed back and forth by what's going on in the world to being centered. Because when you're centered, you can be a light. You can be the beautiful light and healer that you are meant to be. Can I get a thumbs up to how many of you out there are healers at this time and you're feeling this? Or how many of you are perhaps highly sensitive empaths and you're feeling it, you're drained, you're overwhelmed, you're tired, you don't know what to do next, you don't know what's coming next? Give me a thumbs up, just let me know. Okay, good. A few of you are identifying with that. Okay, good. So, my question to you is, what if you knew how to take your power back over your own energy? Okay? What would that feel like? What if you could understand right now your spiritual abilities, because they're probably just screaming in your face. I've had so many people this last week that have reached out to me and they're like, my spidey senses, my abilities from when I was a kid are just coming back. And that's because of these dynamic shifts. And that's because you're needed. I want you to hear me, you beautiful empaths. Even if you only practice at home, let's just say you're an empath and you want to smudge your own house and keep it clean and you don't want to work on a big scale like I do, that's fine. That's one more house for the light. One more house that gets clean. And our energy vibrations right now on this planet are kind of like this. And if you can imagine some of the movies, the action-packed movies, you ever seen them? Where somebody drives a car and they're hanging over that big cliff and like down below is just a straight drop and the car is going like this, right? Back and forth. Well, that's where we're at right now energetically. So the more of you that claim your power and take it back and you say, I am going to be empowered. I'm going to keep my power. I'm going to watch what's happening on the world news. I'm going to be more centered so that I can feed my family, so I can make the money I've always desired. I'm not going to buy into what they're selling about the economy is bad and there's no money, because that's simply baloney. There's money all over the place. If you don't believe me and you think for 1 minute that there's not money everywhere on this planet, because money is energy, I want you to do this very simple exercise for me, and you might even giggle when you do it. If for a minute you're like, oh, I'm in lack, I don't have enough money, and they're telling me on the TV that the economy's bad and the prices are going up and I don't have enough and all that stuff, I want you to go look at the latest, greatest movie that's being released in the movie theaters. Okay? Go take a look at that. Because what you're going to see when you see a big movie that's released, no matter what flavor of movie you like, just look them up and say what's the top release and how much money was made. You're going to see in the millions of dollars that were spent at the box office. And I want you to think about that. Think about that. When we had COVID a couple of years ago, they shut everything down. The box offices, going to the grocery stores, for a while until they brought that back. And they just shut that down. So nobody was going to movie theaters, and the industry almost bellied up. They almost, weren't alive. And all of a sudden they brought it back and they did different things on different channels, and different ways of, different little apps you can get to watch movies and all that stuff. I don't want to give any names out there, but you know what I'm talking about. And they combined services and did things and made it so we could see them at home, and now they're back in the theaters. So if you think there's no money in this country and you're suffering from lack, I want you to go look at the movie and see how many millions of dollars a movie made in a single day or a release. It's huge. So if we truly had a lack of funds on this planet, if there was truly a lack of people being able to be abundant on this planet, those movies, those pictures, those releases would go bye-bye. There it is. Okay. I kind of went off the subject a little bit. However, my guides are telling me it's super, super important for those of you out there that are struggling financially or think you might be. You got to get your mindset straight. And part of that is to take back your emotional power and take back your spiritual power. I see so many people handing it away right now because they're afraid. And when people are afraid, they go back to how they were raised. And a lot of people were raised in an ism. There's nothing wrong with isms, you know? There's nothing wrong with what they call religions. They're great. They give us a way to found ourselves, a foundation. They give us systems to work within. They give us ways that we can feel comfortable and move through space and time because we're celebrating the anniversary of something. They're fabulous. What I've also seen is some of those isms, this may not be popular, but some of those isms telling people, oh, you're afraid, come be with us right now. It's so important for you to be with us, to be back in the fold. And oh, by the way, you know, this is what we need from you, and it's draining. And if any of you belong to an ism, you know it can be that way. And some of them are just fabulous. There's ones, you know, I've even gone to recently looking for a little uplift. And they're beautiful and fabulous. So there's nothing wrong with them. It's just, what are they teaching you right now? Are they putting you in fear? And I'm very serious about that. Are the isms that you're going back to for comfort at this time putting you in fear? Because if they're putting you in fear, they're not of the light. They're just not. Like I said, may not be very popular today. You know, those of you who've been with me a while, I do the best I can to bring the truth, the love, and the light. And I am seeing on one of my platforms over here that I have hearts and thumbs up. Mwah, thank you. That helps me to have the bravery to come on. You all have no idea. Sometimes when the boss says deliver this message, you know, God, Spirit, Source says deliver this message. It's challenging. Okay. So one of my desired outcomes with you all today was to share some information. So for those of you that are on the Facebook pages and Instagram pages, I'll usually send out an agenda of what we're going to talk about. And today I want you to know, and we've already talked about this, that as a highly sensitive person, as a spiritual being in a physical body, I want you to know that there is an extremely powerful way to make sure that you stay connected to God, Spirit, or Source. And it's time for you to take your life back. Quit giving your power to other people. You know, I've had clients come to me and I have sessions with them, and I always give them tools before they leave so they can go out and do things for themselves. And that's the idea, even of the isms, is to give you something that you can take out and help yourself. And like if you come to For Heaven's Sake book, either in Denver or Applewood, you can take home a smudge stick to help you clean out your space, right? I got my feather up here. I've been using this a lot. You can get a feather, and it'll help you clean out your space, and you can take your power back. And then there's others of you that need a little bit more help. Now this is just my rock. I've shown it to you before. I think it's angels or something like that. And I got it a few years ago when I needed some help. And you can see it's kind of round on this side and flat on this side. And what it is this rock contains a frequency, a tune, a tone, or a frequency. And every stone that was created by the Creator, Source of all, has a frequency that can help us. And mine, I hold on to it when I'm really stressed out, and it helps me to feel more calm. And if you're watching me, I believe I had a gal join me from the UK the other day. If you're watching me overseas, don't worry. Just get on the bookstore's website, forheavensake.com. They've got tons of stuff on there. You can pick what you like. And if you're having trouble and you're like, I don't know what stone to pick, call the store, 303-964-9339. 303-964-9339. Give them a call. If you're overseas, use your WhatsApp and say, hey, you know, usually there's a gentleman that answers the phone named Todd. He's awesome. You can say, hey, Todd, Deanna said to call you. And what stone do I need? And not only will he help you pick them out, but he'll ship them right to you. You don't even have to leave your house, okay? Especially if you're overseas. You have to check with them on the overseas bit because I'm not sure how that works for them. So the desired outcome is to break free from the energy drains and the emotions that are holding you back. There's a lot of you being triggered right now by emotions that have been part of your family for years. They call it family genetics. They call it family heritage. Sometimes they call it curses. So if you have an alcoholic in your family or a drug addict or somebody that was emotionally abusive in your family, I'm going to tell you, if you're not feeling it right now, full force, with all of this stuff going on and trying to decide who and what you can trust, and that's not triggering, then you've made the grade. You've passed it, passed go, and congratulations, you did the shadow work. Woohoo! Ooh, ooh, ooh. But for some of the rest of us, it's a little bit more challenging. If that's you, can I get a thumbs up? Woohoo! All right. So I'm going to share a few little tips about this emotional, spiritual stuff. Let me see if I have any questions. I do the best I can to get these down to less than 30 minutes each time. It looks like that's not happening today because there's lots to share. Genesis, I don't understand. You might have to rephrase your question. It says, am I not supposed to have friends or be close to family? I think you're talking about having the spiritual energy, and when we're highly sensitive, especially with other people in freak out mode, the empaths are feeling that impact. They're feeling people reaching out to them, trying to drain them, and Genesis, if that's what you're meaning, I'm going to go ahead and just revert back here. For those of you that are watching this on the For Heaven's Sake book page right now, we are doing a very first time workshop through For Heaven's Sake book. This is exciting, folks. So for those of you overseas that have been, and some of you on the East Coast that are like, hey, I really want to come to a workshop, but my Learjet's in the shop, so I can't fly to the bookstore in Denver. Well, check this out. Again, I'm going to put this, I'm going to put this in the chat. Later, I will put it in the chat for the recording for my personal different pages. And this is a workshop where you're going to learn how to understand your spiritual abilities. You're going to gain clarity on why you struggle to protect your energy. Genesis, that's what you're looking for. How to overcome these destructive patterns that we have, that we don't want, but yet they keep coming. And you're going to begin to open, I'm going to show you how to open up the channel to the other side so you can connect with your higher self or spirit beings that are trying to help you. I have a lot of people telling me they can't hear, see, feel, or sense, or know. And then we're going to heal the chakras. Those are the 7 major and the 725 minor in your body. And we're going to do this in 2 hours. And there will be a recording, and you will have access to the recording. And you can download it and keep it forever. So, when the times are tough, you can replay it again. So, okay, good. I'm glad that answered that question for you. Let me see if I have any other questions. So I put that link down here in the Facebook page. Like I said, I'll get over and stick that into the other platforms. All right, there it is. Now, let's see if I have any other questions. Oh, sorry. Okay, for those of you on Instagram, the webpage to register for this first time collaboration online between myself and For Heaven's Sake, it's called toolsofenergyprotection.com/event/secrets to spiritual and emotional freedom. So that's /events/secrets to spiritual and emotional freedom. And you click on there, all the details are there. The Q&A is there. Anything that you might need or frequently asked questions, and you can find out all about it. Okay, let's get back to what we're working on today. Giselle, let's see here. Giselle, good to see you today. Thank you so much for joining. I see we have a few people joined right away. More thumbs up. Good. Gazelle, she says, I need the dark removed. Okay, Giselle, I would like for you, that's something I don't do live during these things. I can do readings and answer questions, but I'm not going to remove the dark. That exposes too many other people to being sensitive to what's happening, because everybody that watches this will feel the energies of it. And so I'm not going to do that for you today. However, I'm going to invite you to call the bookstore at 303-964-9339, or to go over to forheavensake.com and click on practitioners. My name is Deanna, and find that and book yourself a session. Let's do that privately, okay? Let's see if I have any other questions. Monica says, I have been feeling forgetful lately. Why? Any help will be appreciated. Okay, Monica, yes. How many of you out there, thumbs up. If you're watching this later, just give me a thumbs up. How many of you out there have been feeling forgetful lately? Can I get a thumbs up? Is it just me? Oh, I got a thumbs up. Yay! Look at that. I got sparklies over on Instagram. I always wonder what they're doing on Instagram, because things go sparkly and people tell me they didn't do it when they're watching. So I'm not sure. But anyway, is anybody else being forgetful right at the moment? Okay. Could you give me a thumbs up? Let me know. Give me a wave over here on Instagram. Or is it just myself and Monica? Are we the only two? Okay. Monica, might just be us. So, in answer to your question, when you're being forgetful, my understanding of the human brain, I've been studying it, I'm not a professional on it, but my understanding of the human brain is that when you have too much input coming in and too much stress coming in, and you're feeling overwhelmed for long periods of time, the human brain can only handle so much, so it shuts things out. It's like, nope, not remembering that, nope. And you know what? That actually happened to me. This beautiful woman called me and she wanted me to talk to her for a business purpose. She was wanting to do business for me. And I told her, I said, I can't talk right now, but let's meet in the morning. And I put it in my calendar even. And it was just yesterday. And today she called me at the appointed time. And I totally didn't remember. So I'm at the gym and my phone's ringing. And, I had to call her back and apologize because I was like, I totally spaced it. So Monica or anybody else, that may be what you're feeling right now. But that forgetfulness has to do, my understanding, the brain's an overwhelm, it's got too much in it, and it's just going to shut things out, or things are going to fall through the proverbial cracks in your mind. So Monica, I hope that answers your question. And again, I hope you'll join me for this emotional, spiritual and emotional freedom workshop, because that will help you to know what the brain needs to filter and retain and what it can just push out. Doesn't need it. All right, let's see what else we've got. Okay, I put on the meme for this to stop surviving and start thriving, and that we all deserve to feel alive and not just getting by. Now, there's something else for those of you that, again, are not in the States, or, you're not in Denver. Guess what? You can join me live. You can join me live on this class. It is going to be done on the internet, and so you can attend the virtual classroom. And for those of you that are a little closer, and you could use a good pick-me-up. Now, who couldn't use a good pick-me-up at this juncture in our lives? I'm going to pull this link up for you here. Let's see here. So, there is an event that I am pulling the information for, and I'll cross-share it on the other platforms here in a little bit. It is, here we are, so many buttons. There is an in-person event that I'm going to put down here down here. I can circle back around and do it on Instagram, and for my other Facebook peeps, I just put it down in the chat here for heaven's sake. But it is called the New Moon Fire Festival. Okay? I'll talk about this a little bit more later, probably pop back on, talk about it. It is, I got my calendar out here, it is the 4th of October, and it's going to be in front of For Heaven's Sake, Denver. The Denver location. If you need directions or you need the address and it doesn't come up on St. Google, dial 303-964-9339. That's 303-964-9339, and ask them about this event coming up. It's the New Moon Fire Festival, and it's so cool because if you've ever been to the Denver bookstore, there's a labyrinth out back, and we're going to have several of the store's readers giving free readings. Yes, I said the word free. I can't speak for everybody, okay? But you can find out who's going to be there on that link and what they're providing. I think there's henna painting. I think there's face reading, that kind of thing. And it's going to be amazing. It's only a few short hours, but totally worth coming because it's exciting. And you'll be with other like-minded people, other people with spidey senses. So plan on coming out. And I don't know if there'll be so many people that we won't be able to get to everybody. So you'll want to get there earlier and you can pick up all those details from there. And again, I'll come back on and talk about it next week. And anyway, I know it's just so much, a lot going on. I don't see any more questions though. So now that I am doing them at in the afternoon around 12:30, I know East Coast time, that's sometimes a little challenging. We are able to reach more people. Let's see here. Yes, okay, Monica says it sounds about right about the overwhelm. Not a spiritual thing. However, if you come to the workshop, we can show you how to do that in a couple of hours and it won't take very long. And I think that's it. Just thank you everybody for coming on today. And I really appreciate each and every one of you. And I'd ask my guides, what's the message that I really need to get out to everybody today? What's the bottom line, if you will? And they began to sing in my head. Now, I don't know about now, but 5 or 6 years ago when I started doing the lives, I actually played music for you all to dance to, and have some fun. And then I would put it up on the platforms of Facebook and YouTube, and I'd get my hand slapped, and they would not play any of the audio because it was copyrighted for the songs, which I can certainly understand. So, in lieu of that, I'm going to sing to you what my guides put in my head. So please be gracious. But the guides in my head today, when I said, what is the message I can tell everybody about what's going on with the energy shifts and how they may be feeling? And they said, all aboard, woo, woo, woo. And they said, I'm going off the rails on the crazy train. Let's go. Oh, if you've enjoyed today's video and some friends that could use a little extra boost or, find out what's happening in the world, please click like or share or follow. Thank you for the hearts and thank you for the thumbs up over here. And I am going to be at For Heaven's Sake book in Denver tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Today's 9/11/2024. And here is the deal. If you're watching this video and you go to forheavensake.com, click on practitioners, click on Deanna, that's me, and you book for tomorrow, which is Thursday, 9/12. I will give you, if you are a first-time client, first time seeing me, I'm going to give you a discount on your first session. So you'll have to book it, and then I will, get in touch with you so that you can get a discount on a first-time session. Okay? What I'll do is I will give you the fair rate, FAIR, because at the bookstore this weekend, for those of you looking for that discount, want to save a little cash, we are having what's called Fair Weekend. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay? I'll be at the store on Friday as well. I'll be inside, so don't worry about being cold or anything. And that price right now at the fair, at the fair rate, is $90 an hour. So if you want to know what my regular rates are, go over to the bookstore, click on my name, and you can go down, you can see what my regular rates are. But it's $90 for an hour and $45 for a half hour that can get your energy cleared, get you feeling better. If you have a deceased loved one that you want to talk to, we can do that too. We can look in your Akashic records, all kinds of things. Go over there, find out about all the stuff that I do. And if you book today and reach out to me and let me know that you booked, I will extend that discount to you on Thursday. Okay? If you don't let me know, no discount. Friday, I will also be at the store. So if you're like, I really need a reading, I can't get with you until Friday, I need some energies cleared, I need to know why my finances are not working out for me, I need to know what's going on with my emotions, all that kind of stuff, why my guy is leaving me, doesn't love me, that kind of thing. I'll be there on Fair Friday as well. There are other practitioners. So if you click on the fair, I think she's got it posted up there, forheavensakebook.com, and there should be a place for Fair Friday. It will tell you who's there. So if you want to get one of the other readers, we have plenty of talented readers. There's 2 available at each store. We have 2 store locations. Okay? I'm super excited. Love you all bunches. We're coming into the fall. It's going to be amazing. Stay centered and balanced. Mwah! See you next week.